So today I'm going to go over some ear training tips for singers and songwriters. It's reviewing the masterclass I just hosted recently. And the first point is, why is ear training important? First of all, as musicians and singers and songwriters, we need to have a strong ear to be able to sing on pitch, to be able to sing lead vocals, or to do background harmony vocals. So it's really important to train your ear to hear very well. So there is a difference between being able to hear a pitch and being able to produce a pitch. Some people can hear it, but not produce it. And that skill we call audiation. We want to be able to audiate and hear pitch and then be able to reproduce it. So that means imagining where that pitch is and then being able to sing that pitch and match it clearly. Because if you have pitch issues, that's probably what's going on, is being able to really hear that and then sing it. Sometimes it requires you to take a pause and then interpret it into a sound. Some people have perfect pitch, some people have relative pitch. Most of us have relative pitch. And there are several exercises you can do to help train your ears. One of them is to amplify your own voice. That means you can cup your hands on both ears to hear yourself. That's actually a way to amplify your own voice to hear yourself. Or you can simply plug in a microphone into stereo to amplify your sound, or stand in a corner of a small room to amplify your own voice. The thing is, a lot of times our own voice, how we sound in our own head, is not an accurate way of how it actually sounds to an audience member, or vice versa. So you might think you sound great, and then to others it doesn't sound that good, or when you listen back it doesn't sound that good. Or you think you don't sound very good, but actually when you record it or your audience member hears it, it actually sounds really good. So our own ability to hear ourselves can be a little bit deceiving. It's also not only important to sing along with a track. For example, if you're trying to learn a cover song, sing along with the singer and see how you do. If you do well with that, then sing actually with the backing track, but without the lead singer. So it's like a karaoke track. So see if you can hold your own line. The other tip I have is to be able to sing along with other instruments, or sing the part of an instrument, because the timbre of an instrument is very different than the timbre of a voice. So to train your ears, you have to understand intervals. So intervals are distances between two notes. So if I am on 1, 2, let's do a scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So a second would be 1, 2, 1, 2. A third would be 1, 3. A fourth would be 1, 4. A fifth would be 1, 5. And you get the point. So a way to hear pitches without really understanding how an instrument totally works is to recognize it through certain songs. So a second would be happy birthday. They're just next to each other. To you, happy birthday. A third would be oh when, oh when, oh when the saints. That's a third. Oh when, because you skip a note in between. A fourth would be here comes the bride, da 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 da. A fifth would be Star Wars, or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So da na 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 na, right? Or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. A sixth would be my Bonnie lies over the ocean, or the NBC song, theme TV song, da na na. The seventh is a little bit harder. We don't use it that often, but more so in R&B or jazz. Take on me, take on me. That one is the seventh. I might not be doing a very good job on the seventh. Seventh is something I need to work on. And lastly, eighth. Eighth is an octave. So somewhere over the rainbow. So I'd actually have you practice your intervals, ear training. That's gonna really help just being great on pitch and also harmonies. Also, as a singer or songwriter, I would really recommend you doing some major and minor scales. This is going to help with riffs and runs, right? And if you're wanting to do more R&B, soul, jazz, I would have you riff and exercise your voice on major or minor pentatonic scale. If you're doing blues, they also have one for the blues scale. This is really going to help you with riffs and runs, but also just with pitch and harmonies. When you're exercising warm-ups, you're also increasing your ability to train your ear, because a lot of warm-ups involve intervals, right? Arpeggios, 1, 3, 5, 8, 3, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is our seconds. A couple apps that you can use for ear training is AuraWiz, A-U-R-A-L, Wiz, like wizard. That's going to really help you with intervals. It's a free app as well. You can also experiment with other apps. There's another one for vocal warm-ups to see if you're singing on pitch. It helps you navigate visually if you're matching the pitch. It's called Aerial Singing. There's another one, I believe, for Google. I think it's like Vocal Harmony something, but feel free to experiment whatever works for you. There are lots of apps there to help you increase your pitch accuracy. Best advice I would give you is hire a vocal coach, because apps and all that stuff, it's technology. It can't give you full accuracy. So even visually, it may not be 100% accurate. It gives you a ballpark, and it is very helpful to practice on your own. But to make sure you are actually singing on pitch, I would recommend you hire a vocal coach. I can definitely help you. See the link to sign up and fill out the form for more information. For more advanced, I would actually study how other singers sing. This is going to help you break down like intervals and tones and colors and dynamics. That is also part of ear training. It's not just matching pitch. If you're really great at matching pitch, you also need to get good at training your ear when they have lows and highs, loud and soft, staccato and legato, growls, or airy or bright or dark tones. Again, I would recommend you recording yourself when you sing, because I often have my students record their lessons. For one, is to know what they're supposed to practice, the vocal exercises, but also to hear themselves, to hear where they are doing great, where they're not doing so great. And so you can apply that feedback and then practice recording yourself, maybe singing a lead line so that you can practice harmonies. So you could do a voice memo, recording of a cover song of the chorus line, and then find a third or a fifth to practice harmonizing above or below the chorus lead line. And lastly, I would recommend you sight singing. If you play an instrument, we sight read on the piano, sight read on the violin, but you can also sight read with singing, right? Reading notes and making sure you're singing the right pitch. And I have you read a piece of music, and then you sing that part without practicing, and I then sing the duet part. It really helps you with intervals, harmonies.